your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and sound.
lose ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let them keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should also misery, it's no mystery. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy when we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history, yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain.
Been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right, yeah. I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right, yeah. I can only say that it feels right.
To get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground,
Jackie.
You and me are born of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high on love. They can chase us down, but we will always win. Leading every dance, feeling every touch, and getting high on love. We're invincible. Trust in me. We're invincible. Don't you see? We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. Keeping you in the right direction. No matter how your confidence may fall, I'll be here as your foundation. And I say, hey, yo, just let it go. Your struggles won't remain. And I say, hey, yo, we're holding hope and wake up yesterday. So hold on to
much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it hurts as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh, oh. Let me bleed as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh, oh. Let me bleed. Let me bleed. Let me. Just stay one more night. I'll be by your side. We'll live for a new day. We live life the hard way, but not today. Just stay. Just stay. Just stay. One more night. We found our way again. We found our way again. We found our way. A new place.
So fragile, like it was built to break off the handle. How'd we get to this place? We're leaving everything behind for new and exciting feelings, but I won't leave you. Will everything we know be lost and changed for something new? Only time will tell, but I'll be holding you. I'll be holding you. I'll be holding you. I'll be holding you. I'll be holding you.
Standing on the edge of a cliff, realize there must be more to life than this. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand from heaven's end with me tonight. Trying to find our place like a dragonfly. Keep our secrets there, hide them everywhere. Just you and I.
like a broken soul in a wonderland without angels. That is how I feel when the mirror shows me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. Yeah, I'm incomplete. Hey, 'cause I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete.
These roads intersect, on each one I reflect. These lines write my story. These places change me, each one replacing. Like night into morning, I miss the open air, the going anywhere, riding with you like we used to. Guess I'm better off alone, never know when I'll get home, but I know that home's where the heart is. Guess I'm better off this way, moving to better days, but I know that home's where the heart is. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
As the leaves start falling down and the shadows above our town, I can finally see now. I see the fear inside your eyes, I see the pain in your smile. I can finally see now. As the
sin. And now we're running down the halls. No, we can't let them win. There's an evil inside, just looking way down below. And if I can't hold my breath, then I'm bound to become hollow. Can you say that I've disappeared? Can you say that I wasn't there for you when you went into hiding on the front steps of your porch? And I reflected on the memories, but I put out that torch. Hey! But I put out that torch. But I put out that torch.
You make me feel like home. You turn around, I feel the breeze over me. You watch your dreams unfold. Let it come around and let it breathe over me. It's time to go away into the light. I feel the calming energy. I see the darkness coming, and I'm calling you to help me set me free. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you. I'm calling for you.
Throwing caution to the wind. I'll take a chance and let you in. Just take my hand, take me home tonight. We defeat all impossibilities. Yeah, you and me will take our hearts and run.
Standing in a glass bowl at the end of a black hole, cold lost beneath the ground. All done by my own hand, I allow my feelings to become sad. If you're gonna cut me down, better do it quickly now. Now you can cut me down, but I won't stay for long. I'll grow back again. Oh yeah, my roots are strong. My roots are strong.
Say the word, say the word. Say the word, goodbye. Say the word and we can run around the earth and around the sun. Say the word and we can stay together from that better place. And I know you're healing, 'cause I know the feeling. Streets stop breathing. Don't wanna let you go. Say the word, say the word. Say the word. I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Safe and sound.
Bring that beat back.
ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. You search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars. We're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Reaching for the stars. I wonder where you are. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UCC Summer Smash as we will kick off Another day, although it might be a little bit later than usual. We will kick off, of course, with the best of 3 and a progression game between Nordavind and SJ. But before that, before all those things combined happen, it is going to be, of course, myself overcasting with Kieran, as always. My friend, we had a bit of a free day yesterday, and today, well, Sunday. It's looking like a pretty good day for CS, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an interesting game, to say the least. It's especially with both of these sides not particularly being a team that you would expect to be high-flying, but both of them making that 2-0 bracket, and the potential for one of these, well, confirm one of these sides after this best of 3 will be sitting in a playoff spot. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game to say the least. I'm not too... Are we live at this point? I think we might be live, you know.
If this is really live, then we really got screwed over by production.
I think it's live.
It could be. SJ leading 1-0. It was 1-0 already. We didn't expect that, but certainly it's happening. SJ. This is, yeah, we did. Kieran,
It is live. It is live.
It is. Oh my God. This is. Well, we were a little bit late to the party, but it's okay. 5-3, and SJ gonna be leading 2-0. So, fair enough. The pistol goes to SJ. I guess that was actually the real pistol. Kind of shocked, really.
Yeah, me too. I just thought we were sat waiting for ninth round, but it actually is live. But yeah, it's going to be SJ that take themselves a 2-0. And obviously, coming into this series, this is Nordavind's map pick. And obviously, Vertigo is a game that they've played a number of times now. They've played against No Chance, I believe, Virtus Pro a couple of times. They've had some very good results on this map, to say the least, with the way that they've been able to win. I'm pretty sure 2 out of their 3 maps. I think one of them being a 16-5 over Aggo as well.
Yeah, it was. It was Nordavind taking that in their hands.
Yeah.
And not only... I remember that game. It was a bit of a crazy game as a whole. We were cast...
Was it the first ever Vertigo game played, I'm pretty sure?
Oh, yes. That was the one. Yes, it was. You're correct. It was. It was. We weren't casting it, but I was watching it, and it was a crazy game. Like, the first time I saw it in a professional match, just, you know, kind of surreal when you watch a new map being added. But now it's become a bit of a, you know, bit of a home turf for many of the teams already. Nordavind specifically, I'm pretty sure they practiced it pretty much from the get-go. As soon as it was announced that it's going to be played, or more so added, they started practicing it, and they're not the only ones, actually. I wouldn't be surprised SJ already added into their pool Vertigo, and I mean, they already had it in the past, so, you know, obviously no surprise there. Good shot by Croman, by the way. This is an eco round for Nordavind, so we shouldn't be expecting too much of anything from NV, but, oh, wait a second. Okay, no denial of the plant, at least. Still going to be Tensky, though. That's the last man standing. So, basically, Vertigo, as I was trying to finish the point, it's becoming to be a pretty interesting map, pretty much developing still, I guess you could say. They will probably make many more changes to it, or I mean onto the addition already of which they made before. But this is a map that certainly heavily favors the T side. I've actually read some statistics. I mean, you know, HLTV posted them basically, that it's something like 60-70% like going in the hand of T side. I mean, I might be exaggerating with 70, but still. 3-0, and SJ, well, they're in a pretty good position so far.
Yeah, the thing is as well, that statistic is actually pretty believable with how easy the T side get it compared to those CTs. So yeah, that might be one of the more legitimate stats coming out of Vertigo to begin with, but even so, in this first gun round, it is going to be Nordavind that now have the AWP in the hands of Horzerk, the AUGs across the side, and that is the one thing that Nordavind can benefit from, is the fact they have those AUGs, and again on a map that they are going to be looking pretty strong on to come into this series. They will be having their time on the CT side at least aided by their weaponry, but again, like you said, that T side is definitely way more strong, and with a minute left on the clock, it is going to be SJ that again focus down toward this A ramp. Not particularly too much spam going on through those wooden walls, but there it comes. Nothing to be really inflicted off of it though. And still, with 45 seconds, it is now going to at least put a strain on the T side and what they can do. The fact that Nordavind, they're set up and ready for this, they're going to play relatively passively, no need to aggress, and as those smokes do come through from SJ, as they do start to take over this A-bomb site, the utility to come flying through, I'm glad that they've at least been working on the map enough to know the basic smokes and the utility usage as they lock out the bomb site. But even with that CT side, oh, Redefaction, okay. He'll land just a nice little spam dot shot through the smoke. Rubino, he'll try and deny the bomb. Oh, he does. Oh, well, that's the round in itself, surely. They've got now minimal seconds to plant, although Zati and Yampi, they'll find kills, but not that it matters. Rubino drops again another bomb carrier. Another one, they bagged themselves a first round from a solid A site hold.
Yeah, that's pretty nice to see. I mean, the starting point obviously being that shot through the smoke and giving the entry to Nordavind. SJ, though, they were a little bit slow to the entry itself, or more so to the push itself. They could have committed a bit better to it. We could have, or more so, we should have seen perhaps more Molotovs or flashbangs being thrown in the direction of short and then trying to just hold the site until they at least get the plant down. But it's going to be, of course, another buy for them. They've got enough money for it already. I love the spray through the wall here, through the soft wall. It's kind of like a pretty signature move now on Vertigo already. We saw it in the past from the Polish teams, specifically... Yeah. Wait, it was specifically, VP. I think, VP. Yeah, it was VP.
Yeah, it was Veggie.
Yes, Veggie, exactly. That monster, he got like 4 or 5 kills through that wall, like banging onto the T players, and it was just crazy to see. SJ, they'll be facing off the same problem. Nordavind have already kind of shown that Tensky specifically, but SJ, they're playing such a slow game right now. The defense as well. I mean, we see the defensive posture more so than anything. Holzerk. This is a nice entry for him if he can catch one, though. He can be quite oblivious to the flash, though, and it's Jumpy to take him down. Easy. 5 on 4, 50 seconds, and SJ secured an entry that they might not have believed was possible. Although, okay, Redefaction goes hot, but drops immediately. KRN is ready, and it's a 4 on 3. 45 seconds, give or take. And this is going to be an A hit by SJ. I like it. They've still got plenty of utility. And Densky's going to really hold onto this position. I mean, he needs to hold at least for a kill or 2 and give time for the rotation to be there fast enough.
Especially with that man disadvantage, they should be rotating players as soon as they see those smokes coming through, and that is definitely what they're going to do at this point. 20 seconds on the clock. Rubino to be shut off by Zati. That was a beautiful shot from him. And Atensky at least trying to spam back in the smoke, trying to make something of the damage that he can do. That plant is already down. That should now force the save out of that Nordavind side. They shouldn't be really wanting to commit, throw away the weaponry. It's a bad decision, especially with the 2 rifles that they can save. Although Nordavind, they're not going to have too much economy early into this game. Obviously, those CTs will be back down, most likely into an eco for the next. Holder and Redefaction do have a little bit of cash built up in the bank. They'll even be able to squander the AWP for Chroman as well, so that's going to be pretty good for them. They'll have at least a couple of weapons to go into the next round with, but SJ so far able to make a 4-1. That T side going to be profitable for them to begin with. We could see a world where a couple of the rifles are at least dropped by the 2 surviving players and a reinvestment come through, but it's going to be minimal in itself. It's a risk they'd have to take, and probably not one that a tactical side like Nordavind would want to do. They don't particularly like to put themselves into that many uncomfortable positions, although Yampi, that AWP player, top in the leaderboard so far, 7 kills. Okay, we do see a 4-side on Nordavind, fair enough. Although, it's not as extensive as I'd like, a couple of FAMASs, but they have the core amount of rifles, so yeah, fair enough. It's an alright buy round.
I mean, the most important part of all, they have a few Molotovs they can abuse early on, and Holzerk, with that AWP, we've seen him in the past, against VP specifically. I think he was the carry of, I'm not sure if it was Vertigo he was carrying on, or was it Overpass? Tensky definitely taking the cake for pretty much all 3 maps, but Holzerk, I know a few rounds from him were just simply magnificent, specifically on Vertigo against VP, but Holzerk, there it is! It's gonna be a starting point, Yampi. I initially thought that might have been a different kill, but then Rubinho finds himself a second, and it's gonna be a 5-on-3 immediately. Nordavind, even though it might be a minuscular buy and, you know, utility might not be bountiful, they've still got more than enough firepower to make up for it. Holzer has to be careful. He's at 30 HP. A single bullet will take him down. The Molotov as well, damaging him quite severely. Rubinho will fall. Chroman to refrag. Back to 4-on-3. Excuse me, 4-on-2. And one more gonna fall as Holzer. He keeps a control. And it's KRN, or more so Current, in a 1-on-4 now to do pretty much whatever he can. He takes the head of Chroman, retrieves the bomb. 40 seconds, there is enough time for him to play this one basically however he likes, but Holzerk, this should be his hat trick.
Yeah, and especially considering that now As the only man, the final man of Kern is trying to at least make his way onto the site. It is going to be Nordavind. They bagged themselves that second round on the board. It is going to leave SJ now in a predicament where they either have to go for a force buy or an eco, and it will be the force in itself. That does now mean their bank will be broken, but they have a decent amount of rifles, a lot of utility on the players that aren't particularly stacking too much in the form of weaponry. And it's going to be more of that T-side execution style round more than anything else. Nordavind this time should at least have a better chance to be able to deal with this, just for the fact that the weapons are weaker, but I said that in the last round about Nordavind, and they were able to outcome SJ. But even so is that T-side again going to once more abuse that A-ramp position. There's going to be a point in fair enough, like 2 or 3 rounds when Nordavind are just going to automatically assume that it is going to be the A-ramp push by SJ, and they don't want to really wear the strategy out before it's too late. There's still plenty of rounds left in this first half already. They don't want to be getting bored of the strategies, or at least overusing them to the point where Nordavind, they know about them. Some great spam onto Yampi as well. He's already down that grenade. Oh, it could finish him off clean right now, and it definitely does. Some beautiful damage being given out toward Yampi and to Zati as well. He's down to 53.
Okay.
And even though Kern burns down Croman, back into a 4 versus 4. Beautiful mollies by SJ. I'm liking the fact that they're using their utility so well.
Yeah, and they're able to push Nordavind back enough to push onto site themselves. They might even get the plant here for free. It's a 4-on-4 after all, but okay, Tensky. Arvid pushes through, gets a bullet. It's going to be Radifaction that burns Zardy. And Radifaction, of course, to make up for a second one with his own AWG, or AUG, excuse me. AWG, that would be a ridiculous weapon to think about, you know? Automatic sniper rifle, oof. I mean, we've already got the Scar, but an AUG precision one? Oh my god. Kind of to pull it back though, SJ, well, they'll find a little bit of pressure coming up from Nordavind, and they're certainly unable to hold for it, or more so to hold against it, at least with their buys. It's going to be an eco round, and it should be a tie coming up. Although, I have to say, SJ, they have yet to perform anything on towards B itself. It's going to be Yampi to be opened up on. But again, as I've mentioned, B hasn't been touched yet. SJ, they certainly are committing heavily only towards A for the moment. And I would like to see perhaps a little bit of a change in their tactical plan, because A is seemingly not working out as well as they thought, especially the starting point. I gotta say, at least change it up, go faster. Although this eco round might not play out as well as Nordavind might like. They do not have bomb control, SJ, that is, but they still take down 2 players.
Yeah, and a pretty good start from SJ to even damage in the round with what they had to be able to catch themselves a couple of the rifles. Might be prudent of some more frags as well. Could be a couple delivered, but with Nordavind into that 3 versus 2, Croman sat in more of a defensive position inside of connector. Kern will go rooting around that CT spawn, and Sadix, he might just be walking into a trap here, and yes, he definitely is. Croman to close down at least one of the final 2 remaining men. And as Kern does back his way through that B bomb site, the bomb is lost at the bottom of stairs. Could potentially be retrievable. There is a man that he has to go through, and that is Rubino, who is just sat watching the pretty simple angle. There shouldn't be any sort of challenge given by him at this point, and as soon as he spots the head, a simple shot to finish. 4-4, and Nordavind on that CT side, able to tie the scoreline. The scary part is that Nordavind are getting themselves a decent amount of rounds on that CT side. Like you said, it's going to be the T side in this map, or is the T side, that have a lot of the advantages. And for Nordavind to be able to bag 4 rounds and potentially a bigger chance at more, for the fact that SJ, not only are they able to buy in this round, but lose this, they're down to again another sort of semi-force eco type round. So with the fact that Nordavind know how to play this map on a greater level compared to SJ at this current stage, getting this many rounds on the CT side is pretty dangerous for SJ, considering that as soon as they switch to T side, it's going to be Nordavind that are bringing through all the exploits.
I mean, we couldn't have put it better together. That's just the way it is. Nordavind, they start off their CT side strong. They're able to pick up, let's say, 7 rounds, 8 rounds, perhaps even more if, it's going to be the wind blowing their way. Oh, wait a second. That was, my goodness, Croman almost getting caught in a spray. If he had been a split second slower, he might have lost. Okay, there he goes, down to 30. That's what I'm talking about. That's starting to look a little bit, I guess you could say, a bit dangerous. Nordavind certainly using a lot of their time, and more so their effort, to try and do some wall bangs themselves, but in return lose Croman, or more so lose his HP. He's not dead yet, so there's that. Rubinho, though, He gets himself one. Not sure where that happened. Probably on mid, but here we go. Finally an A play again. SJ. They've committed for 5-6 times on A. They've committing once more. Densky. Oh my god. Wait, what the hell? Holzer, he's pushing close. Densky got the kill beforehand, but not sure what happened there. Yampy's gonna refrag. Still Densky gets himself one before he falls. Although Reddit Faction, he's well deep in behind. It's gonna be another one to help him out. Rubinho, obviously, and now KRN. Yeah. Gets the one, but that's about it. SJ. That was the most successful A take, but again, it's only an A take. They have yet to switch it out, more so change it out. And A, even though it gets them the plant, is not yet working.
Yeah, exactly, and that's sort of the bad part. If SJ are going to keep running the same strategy, fair enough, Nordavind, they're just going to keep exploiting it, or keep keeping it limited as what they're doing in this sort of position. Yes, like you said, SJ, they will bag themselves a bomb plant, but it's not around, and Nordavind, they'll take the lead, a 5-4, and now that T side, once again, going to head toward the A ramp. Feel like I'm seeing a lot of deja vu right now. SJ just sort of bringing through the same strategy again. Some beautiful damage through that soft wall. It is proving to be such a useful asset for both teams. In the early stages of the round, we've seen a lot of damage done through these wooden sort of structures or pallets or whatever.
Pallets, I guess. Yeah, or more so boards. Just boards.
Yeah. They're like so simple to spam, but like it's so effective, especially to stop the early rushes, the CT. Like if you can line it up for this sort of catwalk rampway that Exati's on right now, if you can damage through that, it's so good for the damage. Oh, he's lining up the grenades again. And a lot of the interaction toward this A bomb site happens before you even see each other. It's all through that wooden board. It's all through the utility, and this time it is going to be Arvid that takes out two. Okay. That's a way to explosively enter the A bomb site. A free plant for them. And what a way to take the site. SJ, they just flicked the switch and they're already out onto the bomb site.
A massive improvement on top of their past rounds. Certainly a lot better than what it was, and finally it breaks through. Obviously 5 rounds was required to be lost beforehand. I'd say that's a pretty steep price to get a single round of your own. You keep all 5 players surviving, or more so alive. That's the important part. Obviously you get that economy bonus. But again, as I was saying, 5 rounds for the cost of 1 round for 5, that's pretty high. I mean, I wouldn't go that deep in SJ's place, but I guess they said it in their own mind. You know what? We're gonna take 1A. I don't care how long it's gonna take. We want to take, for once, A site, and then we play anything else but A. And KRN, or Kern, gets himself another entry. Croman's gonna fall. This is an eco round, of course, for NVD. But that's a nice start, and SJ seemingly finding perhaps a little bit of fresh wind in their sails. And then that happens. Ready Faction, Tensky double, and it's Nordavind back in a 3-on-3. They've got 3 Deagles still and a single Kevlar. Unfortunately, Zarty's going to be able to shut down Ready Faction. Certainly a player that in his own right could easily mow down all 5 if they lined up correctly. Rubino, it's so nice to see this. Back to a 2-on-2. It's an A plant, so it's still going to be a difficult retake, but to return to the original point, basically, the fact is, SJ, damn, this is starting out to be a pretty tough game. Although, as I was saying, they wanted to go A, and they wanted to take it at least once if they tried already 5 times.
Yeah, exactly, and a tough game indeed, with how Nordavind are able to not only profit from their eco rounds, but just make SJ again more limited. To the fact that Tensky, he'll have himself an AK that he can save into the next round. SJ will bag themselves a 6th though. And that will see the T's back in the lead yet again. But obviously, this is a scoreline that we should expect with SJ on the T side taking the lead. It's the fact that Nordavind are still growing in round strength that is the scary part, because SJ can get all the rounds in the world on the T side. They can bag the final 4 and make it 10-5. It's still going to be a difficult second half for them with Nordavind now onto that T side. So I think for SJ, they're playing actually better than I thought than what we saw on Vertigo from the last time they played. I think it was versus a Danish mix of like LPSP. And that was back, I think, only a couple of weeks ago, but it was a 16-12 defeat that they took. So their first game on Vertigo not particularly going too much in their favor, but 12 rounds is actually pretty successful. Obviously that T side was helping them a lot with the advantage. Oh, this time it is going to be Kern and Croman. They'll trade 1-for-1 pretty evenly in the early stage of this round, and once more, Zarty to try and back him up toward the B stairs. I think one of the first times in this game that SJ have actually focused a little bit towards B in the early round. Yes, they do have at least a man toward the A site, make that 2. But, oh no, sorry, just 1 man toward the A site. But even so, this is the one time we've seen SJ go towards B, and it might be the time where it's profitable, depending if they do commit to the site. But it seems like they're on the rotate back around this time, though. They won't be feeling too confident to go towards B this time. And Nordavind, you can see how aware they are of this. They're going to be focusing a lot more toward A than that B bomb site, even though Tensky will rotate over and drop a smoke to assist his teammate. Still, they should at least expect in this round with how much SJ is exploit.
Oh, Nordavind, they're reading this completely wrong. It's an A hit, SJ. This is a free site for them. They've got about 10 seconds window here. If they are going to be able to hit it in that time, they easily get the round, almost certainly. Nordavind's going to have to go for the retake. They're committing with 3 towards B. They're reading this as if it was B, but it's actually going to be a full-on A take. And look at this. Arvid's like, yo, guys, site is clear. Just come here. Why do you even throw anything? Just come to site. End of story. Now, they've wasted so much time. I have to say, SJ, I mean, the site is clear. Arvid should have already called it. You go, yo, guys, come. We have to get here fast enough. Oh, Paulzerg. 1 HP left. Yeah, that hurts. Ouch. He's still gonna get a kill, though. Sadix is gonna be able to find a bullet from him, as Zarvit will stand on the edge. And equally so win the duel against Tensky. It's gonna be back to a 3-on-3. 2 HP and 1 HP. Jesus. Croman gets a kill still. Back to 2-on-2, and it's Kern to hold the line behind it all. And Croman presses the bomb. He's on the side at least, but okay, nice spray down. Hits the first. Knows there's KRN there. And it's a 1-on-1 trade, 1-on-1 duel, unfortunately. He's unable to take it. And SJ, 7-5 as they're able to win another A round. That was a close call, though. And I will admit that Nordavind, they perhaps made a bit of a foolish mistake rotating all 3 players towards B without any prior knowledge of A or having distinct knowledge of B, because there's no chance there was sound made. There was a little bit of sound beforehand, but the rest should have been different.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Nordavind should have known that it probably was going to be the A-bomb site that SJ would take eventually, and I think rotating all of your men is never a good idea. Ratifaction again with the Desert Eagle, able to once more open up around. He'll shut down Sadix already, and that leaves him in a 5 versus 4. Yes, they're significantly weaker, but it's still a frag in itself, and Arvid, he'll be tagged as well with another Deagle. Yampy the same. But at least finally to close down Tensky. Zarty landing onto Holzerk once more. A site take that will result in an SJ plant. Ratifaction to put a bullet through Arvid, but Yampy and Kern to trade once more. And it's just that lone man of Rabino, 1 versus 3. Again, these rounds from SJ, they're getting a little dangerous to say the least with how they're taking the A bomb site. It's not even the fact that they're doing it sloppily, it's just the fact that they're constantly doing it to Nordavind. They're just wise to it at this point, but still, it lands them an 8-5 result. And as we see Nordavind go back into that full buy, the T's, again, having a pretty good half so far, but I think they need to end it with at least a 9-6 or a 10-5 to be comfortable. I'm pretty sure with what we've seen on Vertigo sort of thus far and how...
Croman.
What an angle! Okay, Croman. That's a way to open up a round. That's why SJ don't go B. The one time they do, Croman just absolutely rains fire on them. A 5v3 already with only little damage done to him. He's just under half. And what a way to start a round from Nordavind. 2 kills like so quickly, and that should now make SJ significantly weaker. Once again, back toward the A site, but this time Nordavind, they are set up for it much better.
Definitely are. And Croman, what a nice little action he did there. He had the top spawn, and he got immediately into place. And by the time SJ were able to set themselves correctly, because I'm fairly certain one of them wanted to peek the far left side of that angle where you can see deep into quad of B. But the first or the second guy was kind of looking to stay on the stairs and just hold the corner. But it's going to be a 5-on-3 that SJ shouldn't be having too much luck winning. At least the way it started all off. I mean, we should be seeing Nordavind finding their 6th. Arvid, oh my god, he pushes through the smoke. There will be the refrag from Rubino, though, and it's Stensky to deny the plant as he's spraying through the smoke correctly, and it's going to be a second. No, Zarty is going to hold it, but 34 seconds is not doing him any justice, as well as the fact that Holzerk, he's aiming at the right position at the right time. 6-8, and it's going to be SJ that's going to be feeling the consequences of it. Their money not exactly the best. Yampy does have enough. Actually, he's going to be dropping an AK, so it's fair enough. I didn't see that was AK on his RT. It's going to be enough money. Okay, fair enough. This is 6-8, and Holzerk still has the op. in any case, as I was saying, basically, this is a bit of a, a bit of a stark difference between how well SJ played 2 or 3 rounds in a row, and then obviously the beginning ones, or more so the starting rounds, were, I guess you could say, pretty offset overall. Nordavind had a very nice, I guess you could say, very nice sequence through those walls, or more so wall bangs. Sadix, okay, he's going to catch himself Chroma. It's going to be Ratifaction to refrag, back to a 4-on-4. And this round seems to be playing off kind of slow, actually.
Yeah, and as SJ once again dropping that smoke to enable their way up toward ramp. Yampy to be the first man that is trying to at least exploit the position. Try and find himself some information, but seems like SJ once again will dedicate toward that A-bomb site, although as the CT smoke has been returned. 55 seconds on the clock. Rubino to close down Yampy. That makes it a 4 versus 3, and again, that A-bomb site going to be hard to take, but Zati, beautiful headshot onto Rubino through that corner of the smoke. A little opening, and he'll strike for success this time. And as that time does begin to at least diminish, utility still held by both sides at this point, wanting to force their opponents back. And SJ, they have enough time to rotate if they wanted to, but the more they wait, the more they have to commit. And as that bomb timer does begin to at least slip away, they will go for that plant inside of the smoke. Smart decision. Make sure you get it down. Tensky trying to battle, but Arvid to overcome. And as they make it a 3 versus 2, Sadix, he's even aware of the flank to come through. Shuts down Ratifaction. That'll be the round in itself. And SJ, they will end the half with a 9-6. A pretty successful running out of them, considering that they were on that T side of Nordavind, how good they've been on this map prior. But yeah, this has been an interesting half. One of the more closer halves as well that we've seen on Vertigo.
Definitely so. It's either in a heavy favor of T side, or it's close as this. But in any case, SJ 9-6. It's a favorable result for them, obviously. And if they can pick up the pistol, perhaps get themselves going on the gun round, things could turn wildly in their favor. Obviously, this is the map pick of Nordavind, and I am very much excited to see how NVD will be playing their T side and how well they can, or more so they have improved it from the last time we've seen them. But once more, SJ, I gotta say, they surprised me well enough. I kind of hope to see more B takes, but I respect the decision that, they want to hit A for the most part. They want to get that site. It's obviously heavily favorable in their or more so in their position, and I understand the decision behind it. But in any case, it's gonna be a good half overall, and we will be going on, of course, into a short commercial break before we do so, before we continue with our second half. And of course, the commercial break coming up from loot.bet. Make sure to check it out, as they're the main sponsor of the UCC Summer Smash. We'll be right back in a few seconds.
LootBet, made for live betting.
Second half, second pistol, Nordavind on their aggressive side, and of course with their utility as always, will be giving us a show of their own. And Kieran, I gotta say, I'm excited to see it. As I said already, have they improved? Have they changed anything? Or is it just going to be, a smash hit and it coming out on A? And it's certainly looking like it. SJ, though, they might actually predict this. They certainly hear quite a few people running up towards A itself. And SJ, I like their reaction. 3 players on A already. They've got another one coming in through CT. And by the looks of it, they might be absolutely prepared for this kind of execute.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they are, with Holzuk wanting to be the first man to make it up toward ramp, the utility to come through, of course, the Molotovs to rain onto that site already. Oh, beautiful grenade in return, though. That'll take Holzuk and Croman down low. It's Sadix and Yampy that already provide kills, and as they do go, at least for the bomb plant, try and force it out, and they definitely are able to do so. Tensky in the corner can't provide anything, though. What a round it's turning out to be for SJ right now. Yampy to close out one. They keep all 5 players alive. And what a successful round out of SJ. I was not expecting that.
I gotta admit, I had a bit of a feeling in my gut that this might happen. I'm not saying that it might happen, I had a feeling it's gonna be 5 men surviving. I just had a feeling, SJ, they'll have the upper hand. The reason why is we could see their immediate reaction when they realize, okay, somebody's running towards A, and, realizing, or more so maybe checking a few VODs from Nordavind themselves, thinking, oh, they usually went A, let's, set up for an A defense. 2 players immediately there, then the 3rd player rotating pretty much instantaneously in the round, and then 1 more player already pulling off of B, going towards CT itself, kind of indicating he's ready for the rotation itself. It really did show that SJ were prepared, and something I mentioned at the end of the first half was the pistol round will be pretty big in 2 ways. Arvid, though, 2 kills. This is an eco round, so, I regard this to be a victory for SJ pretty easily. So, to kind of finish the point is the two biggest factors for me that SJ will have a very nice starting point for this CT side of theirs, alongside the pistol, obviously, is the fact that they are comfortable playing the CT side. They are a good, effective team when it comes to defending. They understand the nature of rotation. I mean, everybody does that, but, they understand at the core of it. They know exactly how important it is to have that 1 more player either survive on site to buy 5 more seconds of rotations, or more so time to rotations, or, get that guy off of the site to get there in time. In either case, they are very well versed in it. And look at this, 3 players towards A, they are ready for the hit. They are expecting this head and shoulders.
Yeah, and as SJ, I'm liking their CT side so far. They've definitely been a team, if we compare the last times that we've seen these guys play to the current tournament form that they're in. To be sat in the 2-0 bracket, yes, they lost maps along the way, but to be that 2-0 up is showing a stark improvement of the SJ side that we used to seeing. And even so, in this sort of round itself, as that A bomb site is being taken by Nordavind, it is going to be Kern that's stuck in the corner. It's Holzak to punish him for it. And that'll make it into a 4 versus 3, whilst that T side, they'll be heading down toward B. And even though Sadix trades back a first, it is the bomb that goes down. The final 2 men of that SJ side, Yampy to go maybe through that smoke, wants to be very, very careful if he does take that sort of endeavor, and it might just even result in that CT side going for a little bit of a save. Sadix has the M4 to take into the next round, and it seems like that is going to be the motive. So Nordavind, they will bag themselves a first round on the T side. SJ not going to be particularly too strengthy in the economy side of things. Sadix and Zati and Arvid as well, you have a little bit of money in the bank. Kern and Yampy, not particularly so, but he'll survive with a rifle himself, so there could even be a world where SJ do go for the purchase into the next round. Yeah, this is what should be happening.
I mean, it's possible.
Why not? It's definitely possible.
They have enough on Arvid to buy. They can drop 1 rifle from Sadix. Zarti can pick up either a SMG or a Scout or something. And Karen, well, he's going to get the drop, right? Kern. Yeah, so it is going to be a buy, and I like it. I really do, because it could cut Nordavind in half. The money for the T's is limited. They've only got, $100 to $200 on 2 players, and the rest are kind of in that broken area scenario where if they lose, they kind of are back to their starting point, but then if they win, they're kind of established as well. So it really is a bit of a weird scenario, or more so position they're in overall. But in any case, SMG, AUG, AKs, SJ are ready for any sort of early engagement. They might be lacking the effective utilities in terms of nades, at least early on, but they certainly have a few set up of their own. This A execute. Okay, I like this. This might actually work out pretty well for Nordavind right now, as SJ do have 3 players there, but they're locked out by the Molotov. The plant's already going to go down as well, and this is where things get interesting. A retake, probably one of the most difficult sites to retake as the CT, if you have no utility to work with, alongside Dust 2 B site. This is going to be pretty sweet to see how it all turns.
And with the fact that right now, SJ, they are at least able to bag themselves a couple of kills, but Croman, as he closes down Yampy, Kern at least a refrag, but with Zati on 2 points of health, it's probably a challenge that they're not wanting to take right now. And Nordavind, they have been able to successfully break this SJ side going into the next round. It was taking a couple in a row to close them down eventually, but now, as that CT side are going to be In a little bit of economic turmoil, we'll see the CTs go for the eco. The couple of rifles to be saved up shouldn't be doing too much damage, but they're AUGs. You can never discredit them with the fact that they're just so overpowered. But when you compare it to the buy round that Nordavind do have at this current stage, it should be a pretty simple round for the T side. Get them up to more of a 9th round on that T and begin to really hit home on their map pick, of course. It's a map that we definitely should be seeing them win. But SJ, I mean, if they get stuck at this sort of position, that's the one thing that I realize with this side. They get to a certain point where they're not going to be able to really make the plays from. Beautiful nade, though. Whole second round of faction taking around 80 damage between them. That's going to be a lot given to that T side to open things up. With the limited utility they have, they've got to make use of it. And they definitely will so far, but this time we'll see pretty much an even or an open B bomb site for that T side taken. Yampi the only man really in opposition. There is a rifle to join him, but they're already making their way forward. All three to rotate over, actually. This could really work out. Zarty catching Croman inside of the smoke, and with a minute left, they've not been able to get the refrag right now.
Yeah, and they forgot the bomb in T-base as well. That's kind of funny to see always. Rubino, there's the refrag. It's going to be KRN to fall, and it's Rubino to find the second as he snuffs out Arvid's position. Oh, Rubino! There it is. It's a hat-trick. It's a quad. Never mind. And, well, I guess that's it for SJ's eco round. They started off so well, though. I have to admit, Zarty, when he got that first kill, I did get kind of scared for NVD. To be honest, if they had lost one more player there, the snowball effect could have been too big to hold on, and things could have gotten seriously dangerous. But in the end, Rubino, it's an ace round. Fair enough. This guy, he wants it badly. He this is the victory Nordavind want to achieve, want to put themselves onto the playoffs and really compete for the grand prize. And it's going to be 9-11 as SJ are in this perpetual position, as you said already. They showed this on T side. They had 5 rounds where they were stuck in hitting A, and now they seem to be stuck in defending it both sides, really.
That's going to be the downfall of the CT side if they're not careful, is the fact that Nordavind is a side that obviously knows how to run these executions a lot more smooth than SJ. They can just keep running them, keep making sure that this T side are always gaining rounds. And again, with the CT side going to be dictated by economy, they're going to have to begin to win rounds. And it's probably this one they have to do it in as well, or else we're going to see Nordavind tying the scoreline up. Fairly certain. Already we'll see Harvib just being spammed in the smoke. Croman to take him down already. Yampi, nice little boost up inside the castle to take a kill. Kern the same. And this is looking like a round right now where SJ, they will have themselves a little bit of an advantage. The bomb spotted, crossing toward the bomb site. A minute left as that plant goes down. 40-second tick timer to begin, and a little aggression shown by at least Zarty to try and enter the bomb site. The AWP not really able to do much thus far, though. And as the rest of the CTs begin this retake, Zarty to be spammed off at the top of that box, a 4 versus 3 that SJ should have a good standing in, but they're making life a little difficult for them right now. If they do have that smoke, they have 2 of them. Get one dropped on the bomb, close out these T-side angles, try and force that defuse. Oh, but it's something they're just not doing. Radifaction will trade back for Kern. A missed shot by Holzerk, and though Radifaction, he'll at least find the first. Oh, great damage as he closes down the second. And SJ, that was a really scrappy round from them.
Yeah, it kind of was, right? I mean, that smoke could have been turned out, or could have turned out a lot better, and certainly the retake as a whole could have been a little bit more smoother, but as I've said already, A-site Vertigo is one of the harder sites to retake, as far as I've experienced it when I was playing this map, and it might not have been on the same level, obviously, but still, even when you watch professional matches, any match you see on Vertigo, A-site is extremely difficult to be able to retake in your hands without any effective utility in terms of Molotovs or smokes. And look at this, it's going to be another A hit. SJ, they are starting to run into trouble. I said how great they were on the CT side. They really are. Usually they express that easily, or at least have a good chance of expressing it here. Nordavind is shutting down all the important rounds as well as the starting sequences that SJ kind of require to get themselves, in that comfortable position from which point we could see some magic coming out. 2 kills, nothing too big though. It doesn't really matter. SJ should not be getting any further than perhaps a kill or more coming out of this. But basically the point is Nordavind as you said already, their executions, their overall performance has been a lot better than SJ on the T side. And it has been, I guess you could say in a way, cleaner.
Yeah, you got to agree. They've been able to really make the rounds work in their favor, keeping a lot of players alive, and that's being represented by the economy they have built up as well. Rubino, $9,200 on him, and SJ being purchased by 10K. I think he had like 7K before he bought as well, so just showing how good that T side has been so far, tying it up at 11-11. And now we'll see SJ back into that purchase. They do have the AWP in the hands of Yampy. The rest down to those rifles. Decent utility. Only a single defuse kit, but the money isn't going to stretch that far. That's the unfortunate aspect for SJ at this point, is the fact that they do not have the extensive purchase they would like. But with Redefaction and Chroman boost up here, it could see themselves maybe able to get some great info, find themselves a kill potentially, but it is going to be the B bomb site that they head down toward this time. And SJ, they've rotated 2 players over. Might have a little bit of an intuition about this. Sadix to push himself up onto the site itself, and as they move that man across, wanting to play that boost position. Holzerk at least to go venturing down toward the A site as well. Chroman will back away, doesn't want to engage too heavily. Tagged down to 39, Redefaction at least dropped a bullet into his HP as well, and SJ relatively holding the B bomb site kind of safe right now, 55 on the clock. And Nordavind, no real map control from them. Sadix playing safe as ever, and SJ, they're at least knowing how to hold the site, but we will see now a rotation out of Nordavind up toward the A-bomb site. With the fact that Chroman's sitting on red at this point, they will know or go back to what they know and head toward the A site, which is definitely easier to take, and they will try and use the utility to help that, or at least assist it. And with 30 seconds, that's when it will start to happen. Arvid forced out at least by the utility, burned down to 53, forced to play more of a forefront line, could be putting himself in danger, and does. Kern at least a trade in return. And a 4 versus 4 as they enter the site, looking for the plant. Damage has been done though. Holzerk and Tensky, they'll find 2, and as Rubino cleans up a third around that went from something to, from nothing to something for Nordavind. It was all even until they found those 3 kills, but that will force Yampy into a save, and that's 12-11.
And this is where things get complicated. SJ, they did wait long enough with the Molotovs to prevent Nordavind from pushing immediately, but they had another Molotov to use as well, as they could have engaged a little bit better. Again, we should say that the first engagement for SJ was a loss, and that was it KRN? Or excuse me, Zarty? Or was it, who was it? I'm not sure. Basically, one player was running from castle towards site, trying to immediately prevent the plant, which was a mistake, and the first player that died basically tried to challenge the Molotov instead of waiting a second, or, you know, peeking through that Molotov, not being in the open waiting for the engagement. And that's the only difference I'd really, you know, recommend in that kind of scenario, because it just gives him a chance to avoid the engagement if he doesn't want it, or if nothing else, he has the upper hand at peeking. But it's going to be an eco round. SJ, they're going to have to swallow that pill, even though it might be a bit difficult to do so. Tensky gets himself one, and it's 13-11, most likely coming up on the board, as Nordavind are having extreme success in their T side so far, losing only the pistol, and then everything else pretty much going the other way. SJ, this is a bit, or excuse me, losing the pistol and the ecom then after the pistol, or the gunrun, I guess. In the end, Nordavind, of course, taking everything else.
That just shows how good their T side has been as well. Essentially just doing what SJ have done, but again, definitely much more cleaner, as we now see that T side beginning to build a barrier, a 13-11 that will see the CTs able to repurchase. But it comes down to one of the final rounds, or the final attempts that they have right now, because losing this one, of course, as they have invested the majority of their economy, they would have to either win this fairly cleanly to make sure that no one has to rebuy, or they keep minimum 3 players alive. Or even if they were to win the round, if it comes down to sort of a 1v1 kind of clutch and 4 players are dead, that's still going to make the CT life as hard as possible. So, sort of down to SJ to decide their own fate right now. Holzer getting a little close. Oh, could have. Okay, does land it. Okay. Lands a bullet through the soft wall onto Arvid. Takes him down to 53. It's not going to be too much damage considering it's an AWP, but it's a nice shot nevertheless. And that'll see A lot of utility thrown out by Nordavind. They're already trying to encapsulate that A bomb site. As they do go for a pretty safe plant, they've already got the bomb down. A nice little nade to return some damage, but it only takes Rubino down to 63. And a 5v5 retake, you see a lot of those on the A bomb site.
Yeah, you do. I mean, in essence, SJ do need 5 players if they want to have success in retaking it. Rubino, again, being close to the site, he's kind of lingering on the wall, and there he goes. It's an entry to him. Nobody's expecting that. Another player's already waiting in CT deep towards Castle, though. He's kind of ready for that cross. Rubino, he might survive. He drops HP, but it's Holzerk that gets the frag, though. Zarty's going to be able to peek it back up in a 4-on-3, but it's Stensky that holds the line. Kromen, he's going to push Castle. And that's the round gone. 14-11. SJ, they're about to face the music. It's going to be the Angels singing pretty songs pretty soon. I mean, SJ, they have nothing else to answer with here. They've got the buy coming up, or at least potentially a pistol Kevlar buy. Karen has an M4, and he can drop an AWP. But this is a tough one. I mean, their CT side is collapsing completely around them. Everything they try, it's unsuccessful. The retakes so far had not been exactly good as well. I mean, they've had one successful retake, I think. That's it on that anti-eco round.
Yeah.
And that's the round they were actually able to retake on with 2 surviving members. I think that speaks volumes already as to how unprepared they might be in this current position. I expected a bit of a better show from them. Obviously, they didn't play too many official Vertigos, but I at least hoped, you know, since they led it in the map pool against Nordavind, that they should be aware of their preferability for the map. You know, that they might actually ban it first and screw if anything else comes up. At least you play something that you've probably played in the past, if nothing else, 10 times already.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. If they've played this already, I mean, they've had one official on it, but having officials essentially means that you've been on the map at least, practicing it. Yeah, and that's sort of why SJ, I assume, left it in the veto. But against Nordavind, like you said, a side that has been, since day one of release, practicing Vertigo, making sure that they are a foot above, or at least a foot above the rest of their opponents on this map, is definitely going to fare for a lot of difficulty when you're coming into a pick like Vertigo against against Nordavind. So yeah, I'm not particularly too sure what SJ would have wanted out of this game, considering how good Nordavind are. But again, that's the same with Nuke, realistically, with the fact that Nordavind at this moment in time have no matches played on Nuke whatsoever. That's going to leave a lot of uncertainty for SJ, because they could be really terrible at it and have not practiced it, or at least not played it. But you can never go into a game thinking that. They've got 0 maps played. They've got 0 results to go off. They could be an incredible Nuke side for all that SJ know. And I think that's a really uncertain map to go into a second one in, especially with the idea, or at least a thought in the back of your mind, that you're most likely going to lose game 1 just because of how good Nordavind are. So to go onto such an unexpected map as the second, that's going to leave SJ with a lot of risk. It could pay off for them, and it might do for the fact that Nordavind have no results on it. But the fact that they do not, and they're so unexpected, that's the scary part for me with SJ.
Exactly. Like, that's where things turn wildly. Yes, Sadix, though. Okay, the entry is his. The mid push will be averted, as Nordavind will lose themselves the first entry in a century almost. I mean, it feels like it's been 20 rounds, not just, I believe it's now been, what, 8 rounds overall, that they were able to close out in quite a nice fashion. Actually, what am I talking about? They had 6 rounds, right, at the end of the first half, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
9-6.
Yeah. But in any case, you know, they've had good success. They are currently running pretty wild, and I mean, if they close this one and, you know, go to 15, this should be pretty much the very end. Although the loss bonus for SJ is keeping them afloat, and they've got a little bit of bank that is saved up, so that's going to give them another buy. But once more, it's an 8 take, and it's going to be a 5-on-4 retake. Perhaps this is the lucky star now for SJ, that they make their play and succeed at it. Zarty's still on B. He's going to be pushing behind them, though, but he's going to be very late to the party. The bomb's already planted. Rubino's going to be boosted. Oh, this is a great one. He can get the entry and then run the hell away. He's got enough time, as well as the smoke covering his flank. And this is where... Oh, okay, he's going to pull back, tries to play it safer. As soon as the smoke goes, so does he.
Yeah, that should at least start to spell in SJ's mind that most likely they might just pull out for a save. They've got the 4 rifles, at least weapons, to take into the next round, the potential final round of this map as well, which is scary considering that SJ, they had that lead, that 9-6, even trying the ninja defuse, but it won't just work out for them. Kern to find at at least a frag in return. But not that it particularly matters too much. 15-11, and as all men die, that will now make the buy round incredibly difficult. That CT side going to at least be able to bring M4s into the field, but Yampy and Sadix both going to be limited in themselves. This is now going to ask a lot of questions out of SJ and how good their CT side can be, because they're already set back by a weaker buy round. And already with it being map point for Nordavind, they have to be as good as ever. Arvid to peek at least top ramp already. Tensky just partial or just out of reach of the angle, and Arvid. Oh, again, the timing not going to work in his favor. The spam onto at least Rubino won't work out, though. Croman, he'll land the initial kill at around, and a simple A-site execution for Nordavind as they try and end this map off. Kern to take a lot of damage, but can't convert the kill. And as Sadix at least able to trade back a beautiful spam onto the plant. I'm not sure why he didn't go into the corner of the box instead, but even so, down to a 3 versus 3. And that will leave this T side a little bit stranded with the bomb lost on site now.
I think a little bit is an over, I guess you could say, and oh my god, in the best of ways to say is an overestimation. But this is a tough one. SJ, they've got a man on the flank. If he gets himself a single kill, things could turn wildly better in his own favor, or more so in their own favor. But the fact is, Nordavind is probably going to be bad prepared for that. They've already got a man waiting, or more so ready for the flank push. And, oh, I think Holzek already shot his shot, or more so trying to at least peek out and saw Yampy if nothing else. He's going to be blinded out, though. Yampy, that's a nice kill. That's actually where things could turn, as Yampy finds himself a second. And Zarty, okay, fair enough. That's how things work, then that's how things work. SJ, 12-15. And they're going to be able to save their own hides. If they can close it out on overtime, perhaps we can still see a resurgence for SJ and potentially a victory in the first map. Nordavind, that would be a pretty big blow, though. I mean, to lose 3 rounds in a row and then lose overtime, that's certainly something I wouldn't expect overall.
Yeah, and especially with the fact that SJ right now, a single mistake for them closes out this map as Nordavind sit on that 15. They will, of course, have the rebuy with the plenty of cash on that T side. And as Holzak does man down that AWP yet again, it's going to be Rubino and Tensky to push themselves up toward A ramp pretty quickly. They want to exploit that first position at least. Oh, Holzak. Oh dear, they lose the first man already, and Kern, as he falls, the same for Arvid. It's going to be a 5 versus 3 already. Luckily, Sadix at least able to trade, but as that bomb is already planted, it makes life so hard for SJ right now. Croman to go lingering. He heard at least the damage done in the Molotov. Rubino to be spammed down, but Croman a nade in return. And that makes it a 3 versus 2. Yampy. Oh, he lines up a collateral. That makes life easier for them. The defuse to be tapped. Has to push it. Ratifaction.
Oh, he's gonna stop
he finds it. Oh my god.
You gotta be joking me. 10-second defuse as well. He doesn't have a kit. This is horrible. Okay, he picks it up. At least he's gonna hold it, but he's gonna be spotted. Ratifaction. There it is. Nordavind. A one-on-one clutch coming out from Ratifaction, the man who's joined the last into the squad and who's been the best addition to the squad, arguably. He's going to save it all. Nordavind picked themselves up map 1, and what a turnaround. What a close game as a whole. SJ, they fought valiantly, at least first half. The second half obviously being quite shaky. Picking up only 3 rounds is not exactly the best of performances as a whole, but by God, that was a close call, and that could have gone the long distance. But in any case, that's going to go a little bit shorter than expected in the end. We're going to be, of course, going into a short break. Then map 2 will come out as it is Nuke. It is Nuke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Nuke. Of course, the map pick of SJ, and that's pretty much their best map. And we should be seeing, or more so, at least one of the better maps for them. And we'll see how that turns out and how it all goes. Of course, before we close it out, make sure to check us out on Twitter, myself at Overseard, or Kieran at Vertex Kieran. We'll be back after a short commercial break coming out from loot.bet. 10 minutes, give or take, I guess you could say.
Loot Bet. Made for live betting.
Beyond what's good and bad.
Loot Bet. Made for live betting.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UCC Summer Smash. My name's Over, and of course we are here with Kieran, or more so I'm here with Kieran. And, well, we've enjoyed map 1 already, Vertigo. Certainly a strange first map pick. I mean, at least, you know, decision to not ban it or do something with it. But in fairness, it's Nuke next, and SJ are no strangers to it. 1-0 for Nordavind, and it's looking pretty decent for the Norwegians. The way they kicked this series off, I gotta say, I'm kind of excited to see how it all plays out on Nuke, and if it might be the last round SJ play in this best of 3 progression match.
Yeah, I've definitely got to agree with the fact that these guys have no statistical data coming into Nuke is either going to be a huge disappointment in the map itself and we see SJ take it pretty cleanly, or they're throwing a red herring in there and they're going to be like, okay, yeah, we've been practicing this map, we've been in the server, we've been developing our strategies, getting sort of the stabilization of the side, and that could be a real throw-off for SJ. If they start map 1 like they did, then they'll have a good time, but with the way that Nordavind are able to counter them, or at least just make sure that the rounds that needed to go in their favor did definitely go in their way, and if Nordavind can keep that sort of pressure, then we should be interested or in for a very interesting second map, especially with who starts on the CT side or T side here. And obviously with SJ winning the knife round, it should be them that choose to stay, and it will be. So that makes life a little harder for Nordavind. The T side, of course, heavily disadvantaged in this map itself, but I mean, with how Nordavind can play their T sides, and especially if they can get the pistol to begin with, we could be seeing a pretty interesting second game.
Absolutely we could, and it's all gonna bring us down to that question whether or not Nordavind have prepared for Nuke, or you know, is it just is it just going to be a blow through by SJ? I mean, the red herring certainly could be possible. It would make sense in this kind of scenario, right? Why wouldn't they insta-ban Nuke if they don't play it, if they don't really like to play it, if they haven't practiced it? At least, you know, on other maps, they've got at least something played out. Train, they might be at 0% win ratio with 3 officials played, but they still at least played it, right? Whilst for Nuke, as I said, we are in an uncertain position, and it's hard to really tell, or more so, it's going to be hard to tell until we start the series itself, or more so the map itself, I guess, in the end. The gun round will be the first real indicator as to how this map will start to turn. The pistol round, obviously, in the second round are kind of like, it's more of in the realm of, okay, who has the better response to the other strategy, and it might not necessarily be intentional. It's just maybe the default you're running with that round, or more so that day, and it's gonna respond perfectly to what your opponent will throw at you. That's the only way I see pistol these days, you know, since the round itself has been diminished in its importance. But it's going to be the pistol we'll be starting off on, and Nordavind, as you said already, T-side, no strangers to it. It is going to be a smoke, a flash, and a nade on Rubino. And Kroman, does he go for the same? Certainly. No, okay. 4 Kevlars, fair enough. I respect that. No kit on SJ, though. Ooh, this is a bit weird.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be more of a we hope to kill them off before they plant kind of round with SJ this time. Although not that it's going to matter too much. Rubino, he'll land the first kill. Chrome and Yampy to trade back evenly. Tensky finding one more into Kern. Yampy from heaven still able to fight. The fight no longer, down into a 3 versus 1. A very quick pistol round coming through from Nordavind. They'll be finding instant success already in this map to begin. Sadic's the final man left into a 1 versus 3. I just hope he goes and saves his Kevlar. Maybe try and bag an exit kill, but he'll be able to at least take it into the next round. But Nordavind, they are going to start very well on this T side. The best part about a T side as well is, even though it's significantly weaker on Nuke as a whole, if you start well on the T side and get a pistol round in the either first 2 or 3, or sorry, 1 or 2 eco rounds to follow, and with it being a force right now from SJ, most likely going to be Nordavind taking victory, that's your 3 rounds that you want to build from, because like, even at the top tier level, you only need 3 rounds on a T side of Nuke to be solid. And if they can bag that early game, that's going to be great for them to not only stabilize their confidence, but just the game in itself.
one could argue that, 3 rounds is pretty much perfectly set up for a victory on the CT side. Surely is, and surely can be that possibility. But Nordavind should be chasing the tail of, perhaps more in the realm of 5-6 rounds itself. And obviously the disadvantage is something they'll be accounting for. But as we mentioned already, I'm most anticipating the first gun round. It's going to be a force buy from SJ, though. I'm not surprised. The scout on Yampi in the past has been devilish, and he's been able to get some free kills out of it, and there it is, a kill for him. It's Redifaction that gets caught. Kroman, though, he's going to be refragging as he spots his cross. It's Holzerk for the second, from a bit of a bait from main, coming out from Tensky. Pulls out Kern out of position, and Rubinho finds himself another one. Okay, I guess it's going to turn back in favor of Nordavind, although the winds did blow south for a second there. Yampi was the only man that really has found any success at all. 2-0 in Nordavind. As you mentioned, 3-0 coming up as SJ go for a full eco. But once more, 3 rounds. It's not only an excellent beginning, but it's going to set them on a perfect journey to perhaps pick up the victory in the first half. 9-6, 8-7, you never know.
Yeah, it's always going to be a possibility, especially with Nordavind not particularly having too much. We could even see the fact, like you said, where it goes to an 8-7, which is more of an uncertain realm on Nuke. We've not particularly seen it all that often with how the map can definitely sway. This time, Arvid, he'll be able to get in the back lines of at least a couple of these Nordavind members. Might have a free kill on his hands here, but as he tries to enter inside a main looking for the knife, he will be able to land it. Okay, SJ bringing a little bit of style onto this round. Yampi even finds one, and oh my god, it's down into a very awkward position right now. Luckily, Kroman, he'll find himself 2 in return, able to at least force Sadix into submission. That was a very risky round there from Nordavind itself. Luckily, Kroman able to save the day, but that could have gone a whole different direction.
Certainly could. I mean, that was a close call, SJ. They needed one more lucky hit, and things could have turned wildly back in their own favor. On an eco round of all places, that would be crazy talk to think about it. Rubino, he was kind of quickly taken out, but it's all thanks to Kroman that they survived in that one round in the end. It's going to be, of course, the full gun round though from SJ, and look at this. Already 2 players going down secret. Rubino first man to go for the entry. Tensky following his lead. It's a bit of a B split by the looks of it, though. I gotta say, I like this. Nordavind, they're going straight into the executes as soon as they come to the gun round. They want to surprise SJ with as much, I guess you could say, fatigue as they can. Yampi spotting ramp, though. He drops the bomb carrier, but it's Holzerk that's waiting him on the other end when he re-peaks. And it's not even a challenging moment for Holzerk. And back to a 4-on-4. Arvid, though, he's taking the upper or most of the, I guess you could say, the step forward. As Rubino, though, finds 2 kills. Tensky gets sprayed by Kern. But it's a 3-on-2 and B side has been lost. This should be SJ looking for a retake. It's a 3-on-2 they can retake easily on if they take ramp control in secret. Arvid already looking to go that way, whilst Kern is down secret already. But as I said, it should be the one they go for, although they need a kill pretty soon.
Especially with Arvid on a defuse kit, it is one of the rounds that you would want to dedicate into, and Kern, there it is. He will find the first kill, but not before Holzerk to pin him down and close him off. That'll be a 2 versus 1, a more difficult scenario to be able to take. He has to get onto site very quickly if he wants to catch the defuse. And I think he will submit the round itself to Nordavind. That is a perfect beginning out of the Norwegians so far. A 4th round already onto that T side. The CT's not going to be feeling too strong going forward in the regards of economy. And at this point, gives a very strong chance at Nordavind to keep it clean so far, to make sure that all the rounds of the opening passage are going to be going in their favor. Kroman top in the leaderboard so far, 7 kills, 149 ADR, pretty decent out of him so far. And
yeah.
SJ, there we go, pistols and Kevlar for them. This is going to be more of a weaker round than most, I assume. There is that AWP and a UMP in the hands of Arvid as well, but realistically, mixed in with those pistols, it is going to be a very hard round to win for SJ. So Nordavind, they should be going up to a 5-0 here, and that's so strong on a T side to begin with.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a perfect beginning. You couldn't have wanted for a better start, especially with the fact they've got money growing. Although it's not the best, it's still growing. Yampi, though, again an entry being given to SJ. As it is Holzer that's going to try and refrag. This challenge is critical, and last time Yampi lost, now he's the one to come out on top. 2 kills already, and it's SJ in the lead by 2. It's Redifaction to push HUD, although this could result in his undoing, or if it's waiting on the other side. Certainly should have been a bit more careful in that kind of position. But yeah, as you said, that gun round was vital to SJ, and I mentioned how it will speak volumes as to how this first half and perhaps this map as a whole will turn. Well, it does. It really does. And the Seeker round somehow still ending up SJ, perhaps one more so still ending up with SJ winning. I would be surprised if that happens, but certainly it's looking like it already. So, you know, maybe expectancy coming through.
Yeah, even though Croman able to refrag on Arvid, like you said, it shouldn't be a scenario that SJ loses. Definitely Nordavind trying the bait and switch though. Sadix to take out one, leaving Tensky into a 1 versus 2, and as he gets caught in the flank, there's Kern to finish. SJ winning a very, very random round that probably never should have happened, though Yampi was gifted 2 free kills, so that was what really was the undoing of Nordavind in that position. So that'll be a first for that CT side, and a very good round to win off of the back of an eco especially.
Yeah.
That makes sure that now you have a full buy going into the next round. You have that AWP to be given to your primary sniper. But luckily, Nordavind, they do have at least the build-up of bank to be able to repurchase. Tensky going again for the SG. I kind of like it. He's definitely one of the better players I've seen use it. I think him and Jo are pretty much at this sort of tournament level the ones that are pretty good at utilizing that weapon, but even so, we'll see Nordavind heading for outside control this time and very quickly down into Secret as well. I'm liking the pace. They've turned it with a push of a button, and SJ might not expect this.
Yeah, they really might not. Croman's going to be caught by Zarty, though. SJ seemingly, but already having a response in mind, though. Sadix is in control room. Zarty close range. There comes the big trade. This is an important one. Sadix can't kill a single man, but Zarty's the one to hold, and he's the one to save it all for SJ, most likely. Although he's going to try and push long. He's going to be caught by Tensky. Back to a 3-on-3. Kern coming in through ramp. They've got Arvid and Yampi both on ramp as well. What a lockdown. Oh, darnish. Okay, that's where things turn a bit wildly. Nordavind get the plant as well as having Rubino behind the side box on Catwalk. This is excellent after plant. And Nordavind, as long as they keep themselves in an, I guess you could say, in a safe spot for as long as possible, they should be winning this. I mean, all 3 players to the ramp, it's usually a good tactic if you get entries fast. But if you are denied those kills, then things will turn badly. And look at this. Kern does refrag, but Rubino's still alive. He's the one main challenger. And Tensky on long, he's not going to give it that easily. He opens the door, takes down Kern. That's the round gone. He's going to kill Yampi as well. And doesn't matter, he dies as long as the money is gone. The CT team kind of really suffers most of all. And Tensky didn't die? Wait, what? How did he?
Yeah, he was like pretty, like, he only took like 30 damage as well from the bomb.
Yeah, what the hell? Did they reduce it? What? He was like literally still on the ramp moving towards, or more so on the mini ramp from site moving towards ramp itself when the bomb exploded, and he survived somehow. I'm not sure how that's possible, but I completely, okay, my mind is getting flabbergasted right now. No, it doesn't matter. Another buy coming out from SJ, and it's gonna be, well, oh, SJ, the 2 kills so early on. Fair enough.
Great start for them. Croman, however, he's able to infiltrate back lines of ramp. Spots out Sadix. Oh, does he? Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, he does spot the second man. Okay. That could have gotten a little risky. He will leave the... Okay, he won't leave the first man. Sadix luckily able to trade. If he'd have got that kill, that most likely would have been the round itself. But Kern down toward ramp to finish off the final 2, and that'll be SJ putting themselves on a second round, most likely going to be a third as well, just for the fact that Nordavind do not have the cash to be able to buy. The CT side starting to put a couple of consecutive rounds on the board now, and that's going to be working out for them very nicely, making sure the T side, even with the 5 rounds they've got, aren't going to be able to run away too far just yet. And obviously they will go for a little bit of a reinvestment. Holzak with a scout in hand, Croman down with a Desert Eagle on $450. So a lot put into this round. Most likely going to be a double eco as well if they were to lose this one. So that should give SJ the opportunity to not only get closer, but put themselves within a round away from tying the scoreline. So, yeah, at this point, Nordavind, it'll start out pretty badly for them. Yampi, he'll land the initial kill onto Croman, take out the only man wearing Kevlar, and find it a second onto Rubino as well. A pretty simple round thus far, and as Red Faction falls, that's essentially this one wrapped up and finished. Holzerk does at least trade back a beautiful tag onto Zati, but Kern won't let him deal the damage to finish the kill, and there he is to finish the round. 5-3, and should be a 5-4 with SJ now putting Nordavind down to an eco.
Absolutely. We've got obviously still a 2-round difference in between, so Nordavind are comfortable with dropping a few. They can confirm, or so they can probably atone to the fact that, sure enough, they've got 5 rounds, but they're going to have to concede at least few here, or more so they won't have a choice about it anyway. In any case, SJ, they're not too good economically speaking. We can see Sadix is broken. It's going to be Yampi with, a little bit more left than him, and the rest, it's okay-ish. Although Yampi and Sadix, fair enough. Okie dokie. That's how you can make things a little bit better. Yampi immediately triples his, I guess you could say, his bank. And it's a 4-5 as expected. The full buy round, though, from Nordavind, and presumably a tactical pause coming up from Nordavind, I guess. I didn't see if there was an announcement. Usually on top right-hand corner we see that, so hopefully we'll get it. But Nordavind, do they buy an op for Holzer? Does he go glass cannon and risks it all? There are two SMGs, so perhaps, he doesn't know that, or at least might not be aware of that, but still, that would be pretty crucial for SJ. Or more so for Nordavind.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility as well. I think getting Holzerk onto that AWPT side is a very, very good way to be going about business if they can make sure the battle between, with Yampi not on an AWP, but if there was one, that could really work out. But yeah, Nordavind this time most likely going to take that attack pause, as you said, and with the buy round that they do have this, it will give Nordavind a chance to continue bettering their T side. I think 5 rounds is a pretty solid statement out of them on Nuke so far, especially on that T side, but they would like a little more. SJ wanting to put themselves into that position where they don't allow Nordavind to keep taking these rounds, because with already losing the first map and going into a pick where your opponent is very uncertain, or at least not uncertain in their own confidence, but just uncertain as an entity as a whole, you're essentially giving either a lot of chance to Nordavind to win 2-0, which is definitely going to still be a possibility, or SJ just whitewash the map, and that's obviously not been the case so far. So yeah, SJ may be a risky pick out of Nuke itself. Maybe would have liked to see an overpass in there, even though Nordavind do play the map itself. It's one that SJ can handle on. I think they lost to Dream Eaters most recently, so maybe not a map that they would want to pick entirely. But yeah, with the veto obviously giving even maybe 2 maps that do fit into Nordavind's sort of favor, that might just be SJ's fault on that end, but seems like definitely more of a tech pause at this point with how long it's been.
I have to agree there. Certainly feels like a tech pause as well. Holzerk has been inactive since he basically bought that smoke. But yeah, the fact is, as you said already, SJ, they kind of let Vertigo in the pool, and again, if you look the reasoning behind it, you might think, this possibly is not the first map pick, right? But then again, when you really look behind it all, I guess it makes sense for Nordavind to pick Vertigo in the first place. I mean, SJ haven't had success on it, at least not officially, and in the end, Nordavind feel very confident for it. But again, the mistake is on the side of SJ there. In any case, Nuke, it's a good chance. The Finns have a fair opportunity to close it out here, to go 1-1 and potentially, pick up Mirage as the third and final map of this series. But this is a progression match, and SJ could have perhaps done better with their pull in any case. Rubino, though, okay. Kern will push out towards red, gets himself caught, and it's going to be an entry to Nordavind. This is the best start Nordavind could have had in this kind of round, at least starting with their gun round.
Yeah, especially considering, like you said, it is back into that gun round. Sadix, luckily, able to retrade, though, makes it a 4 versus 4, and with plenty of time left, this is definitely workable from this CT side. Arvid trying to get up the ladder, though, to be caught by Tensky. And that's going to be a big blunder for them to take in this round already. Rubino to come in from back lines of heaven. And as they realize that a bomb site is pretty much clear, Yampi the only man in any sort of defense. An MP9 isn't going to push him too far, and that'll leave a 4 versus 2. The final couple of weapons left. Zati able to upgrade at least into Kern's M4. But not that it should make too much of a difference. They will go for the save. They'll back out of this round and give Nordavind a 6-4 lead on that T side. And this is going to be working out pretty much perfectly for them, even with Rubino dropping. Their economy isn't the strongest, so I'd like to see maybe more weapons being saved. But they do have that AWP in the hands of Holzek, and the AUG is pretty solid as well. So a 6-4. And Zati going to wander into the site, just giving up his weapon for free. Luckily, SJ do have a lot of money on that CT side to rebuy with, but it's still an action that you probably shouldn't be taking anyway, just to sacrifice yourself.
Exactly. Like, why exactly would you want to die when you know the round is lost anyway? Just get the hell out of there, save the weapon, right, and give your own team an opportunity to have a proper buy. And not that they don't have it, but still, it's just a waste at this point. But in any case, 6-4, and Nordavind, they are having a extremely successful run of the second map. Even though on officials, they have yet to really play a nuke map at all. And I mean, this speaks volumes right now. They seemingly prepared for the map. I mean, there's no other explanation for it. This is not a random chance. This is not a random, just happening. You don't just win a map, or more so, or you don't just win a T side of the map. Even if you might have played it a few times, you have to have practiced this to win against a team like SJ, especially with how good they are on their own map pick. I mean, their CT side is where they excel at nuke, and that's the biggest point of all. I mean, they are amazing when it comes to rotations on nuke, when it comes to supporting each other. They have some nice small, I guess you could say smaller independent executions they do as smaller teams by 2 or something of the like. And overall, Nordavind, well, they just shut down everything by the looks of it. So it's going to be another gun round, as we can see. An up on Holzek, an up on Yampi. And this is where things get interesting. Oh, Kern, he's going to hold the line in main. That's the bomb drop. Nordavind, they're putting a lot on the push towards main. Rubino finally refrags, but he's going to be isolated by Arvid. And it's a round that ends within the first 20 seconds of it. Oh my lord, Nordavind. Well, we could see that they attempted to go for an A take, but it's immediately denied with SJ holding their lines, and it's all on Kern there. If he dies immediately, doesn't get a single kill, then the site is lost almost 99% of the time. But Nordavind, that hurts, and it's an eco back.
Yeah, that's the best thing for SJ. They've finally been able to once again break that Nordavind side. They'll be down to a couple of pistol investments, but it'll be Yampy to start things off pretty well, and that should be the general motive of the round for SJ. Shouldn't be going in any sort of direction. Sadix will claim the life of Crowman as well. Makes it a 5 versus 3 already. And that'll be a 6-6. SJ doing well to tie things up, making sure that at least Nordavind aren't running away with too many rounds. But the scary part is Nordavind already have 6 on their T side. They've got plenty of rounds to go into CT side with, and that's going to be disappointing for SJ. I'm sure they'll have been wanting to control the first half a lot more, maybe end it more of an 11-4 rather than even a chance of more from Nordavind, maybe an 8-7 like we mentioned earlier. Sadix able to take out Rubino, makes it a 5 versus 2. Keeping all 5 players alive for SJ would be a very good success out of this round, to say the least. Yampy to close out Tensky, and that should be how it ends. But yeah, still, SJ, a good job from them to make sure they're not falling to any sort of eco rounds like these. Yeah. You can see they're getting a massive build-up of the CT bank, which is great for them as well. But Nordavind, they will be able to rebuy this time. SJ, if they can take the lead in the CT side, most likely can get a couple of rounds in advantage. But with Nordavind looking like really solid on that T side, it's going to be taking a lot out of SJ to close out their gun rounds. Holzek even taking another glass cannon AWP. That's how comfortable they're feeling right now.
I mean, this is best case scenario for them, really. They've got the bank, they've got the double up, they've got outside control if they want it, although Yampy's going to be blocked out or more so smoked out, so it's going to be a fast secret push. I love this. Nordavind, they're already making headway, and Zarty's going to be the first to engage here. He spots the first man, sprays him down, gets the second, no, denied for it, but he falls back, throws a nade, and deals extra little damage. Rubino, though, through control room, but Sadix! Oh, that has to be a surprise. The second up coming out of the blue, and it's SJ to get the upper hand. Nordavind, They've been stopped in their push and they have nowhere to move right now. They're on long and they're close to short vents, but they have really no other way to get onto site itself. Zarty is low though, so there's that. But overall, it's a 5-on-3 they have to take on B. They can't really focus back on towards A as well, as SJ literally have them pincered in. They could try to maneuver back through vents, but or more so at least through secret and all, as SJ do have many players on towards ramp. This is not the smartest choice, as we can see. Holzer, Rubino find 2. 3-on-3, 45 seconds. Nordavind, they've broken onto the site. Don't tell me SJ sell it like this. It's gonna be Rubino one more. It's a 5-on-3 retake they were supposed to win, or not even a retake. They had a player on site. It was a hold. And it's back to a 2-on-3. Jesus, Nordavind. How are they so successful? Yampi on catwalk. He doesn't spot anybody yet. He doesn't even check it. He might be too late. Kern gets the 1 drop. He gets the 2nd drop. It's gonna be Ratifaction. Oh! Oh my. And it's 7-6 SJ. They still succeed.
Somehow 5 versus 3 that went into a 3 versus 2 and then still able to make the round work. Fair enough. SJ making 7-6 and putting themselves finally around in the lead here on the CT side though. Eventually be able to find that one advantage point that they were looking for so long ago in this first half. Luckily Nordavind they'll be down to again another eco round. Their economy going to be saved for the final round of the first half. Even so, SJ most likely going to be taking victory in this one. An 8-7 potentially could be coming through. Nordavind maybe a 9-6. Rubino, nice first shot though. Able to take out Yampi. That's going to be the AWP player that's already sacrificed. They'll be looking to pick that up as well. But luckily Kern, he's able to close out Croman. A nice tag in return, however. And ooh, Holzer does get picked off by Sadix at least. That's a beautiful trade back. Arvid the same. As Tensky dropped down low, that's around itself. So an 8-6. And SJ, as they pick up victory in the first half with those minimum rounds required. It comes down to this. They're making a 9-6, or we do see an 8-7. And I know which one Nordavind would prefer with how good that their T side has been. They would want to go into that second half at least with only a round differential. That would put them in a very good position to go into CT side with.
Absolutely. I mean, it's setting themselves up for the perfect second half. Kern, though, pushed out red this time. Successful 2 kills. And he takes down 2 vital players. It's going to be, of course, a 5-on-3. And Kern, he keeps on giving. He keeps on delivering. It's a hat trick. That's enough. It's Ratifaction to refrag, but it's pretty much the ending of these 2 players. I mean, Ratifaction 17. Holzer, he's got an up, and he actually tags on Zarty through the wall. And he actually gets the kill. Oh my god, Zarty, that's a main wallbang kill. Holy hell, Yampi evades the kill at least there himself. So he's gonna be able to survive, but Jesus, Holzerk, how can you shoot the same spot twice? That was like that triple wallbang we saw a little ways ago, but Yampi, yeah. In the end, 9-6 as Yampi closes it out. Nordavind will have to concede the 3-round difference, and I have to say, this should be acceptable to Nordavind. I mean, 6 rounds is good regardless of if this is your map pick or not.
Oh yeah, 100%. 6 rounds is going to be solid on that T side to end the first half with Yampi. 21 frags compared to Radifaction's 1-14. He's not having the best of games in this one, which is unfortunate for him. But even so, like you said, we'll see who takes the advantage going into that second half, of course, after a small commercial break. Sponsored by Loot.bet. Go and check them out if you would like to see their site. But we'll be live after the second half with this small break, of course, brought to you by Loot.bet.
Lootbet, made for live betting.
And welcome back to our second half to our, of course, second pistol. This is where things get interesting. This is where things get messy. SJ 9-6, an extremely, I guess you could say, an okay ending of the half, but not exactly the ending they would want to have at the start of it all. But it's gonna be, in any case, a pretty fun first pistol to see how it plays off. Yampy, he's got the dualies, excuse me. So there's that, a Molotov on Zarty, a smoke on Sadix, a flash and a nade as well. We've got the kit on Chroman and the smoke, so there's that. But Nordavind, they kind of want to pick up the pistol if at all possible.
Yeah, that'd be the saving grace for them. That'd make sure they're not going to allow SJ to run away with too many rounds. A 2-for-1 trade, though. Yampy, he does actually make those dual Berettas work. Okay, fair enough. Arvid, he'll find one of his own. Yampy, will he strike again? No, he will not. Bomb at plant, at least denied temporarily. But that leaves Chroman down into a 1 versus 3. Yes, he does have the kit and the smoke, but as soon as he opens the door, they know where that final man is. They'll reposition accordingly, of course, and that'll be a 10-6. SJ going to bag themselves that T-side pistol. Gives them a great opportunity to not only better themselves on that T-side, but to now go at least up to an 11-6. Start to force that CT side out of the hands of Nordavind. And obviously, as they go for that force buy, this is going to now put them in a little bit of an uncertain territory. Losing this one will give SJ a chance at 12, and that's going to be detrimental going into the first gun round, because if you lose that, that will start to really spell a quick end to the map for you if you don't start to step things up. So Nordavind running on a very fine line, even with SJ needing 6 rounds and they're still so far away. It can definitely take a topple with how Nordavind are going to be so unexpected on the CT side.
Yeah, I guess that's the only saving grace in the end, but the force for me is the one thing that really stands out the most. I really don't like it, I have to say.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm gonna be honest, force buys are not a bad idea if you have the right timing for it. And in this case, I would say a force buy would be a smart choice from SJ if they were in the position of Nordavind. So down 9-6, going to the CT side and then losing the pistol. Then I say you're still, up 2 rounds, force it up once, and you can actually turn it back. But here, Nordavind, they're going to give 2 more free rounds, if you count this one together, to SJ if they are unable to win it. And we see Tensky opens things up. That's a nice start, at least. Reddit faction holding Hutty gets a second. Hey, hold on a second. This could actually play out pretty well if they get the lucky start, at least. It's going to be Arvid with 1 more. And it's going to be... Okay, Rubino holds it with a kill, but it's a 2-on-2, and Kern is so smart, so wise to the push. He's able to deny it, and it's back to Tensky, a 1-on-2 clutch round, 20 seconds remaining. The plant's on B, he spots the first, but Yampy, of course, is going to be ever accurate with the AK, and that's pretty much 12-6 coming up. Nordavind, as I was saying, they sacrificed 3 rounds to SJ because of that, or at least, if you count out the pistol, then it's 2 rounds, but in either case, they could have had a buy in this one and actually, started to build back their overall money.
That's the thing as well. Obviously, you can kind of guarantee, even if you're Nordavind, then you're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna force buy this round. We're gonna purchase into some pistols. Even in the back of your mind, you shouldn't be winning that round. You shouldn't be going into it thinking we're gonna win this with the weaponry that we do have. So I definitely agree. It's one of the measures that I don't like when teams go for it. We saw a lot of it in the loot bet seasons as well, where we saw rounds just really fall apart because of those force buys. But even so, Nordavind will be going for a 5 versus 5 retake with pistols. It's not going to account for too much. That'll be SJ going up to a 12-6. And this is where they can really start to hit home now on the T side and show just why they picked that nuke map, just why they were wanting to bring it in as a punish pick, make sure it was a swifter game or a quicker game than most.
Yeah.
And with a pretty simple annihilation down toward those tunnel stairs, that will leave all 5 players still kept alive on the SJ side. A perfect beginning for them going into that first gun round of Nordavind. So they'll have plenty of economy to work with on that CT side this time. Hopefully the AWP coming out on Holzerk, but even so, as SJ keep it clean so far, they'll want to carry on doing so. And a 12-6 is decent so far, but I think on that T side, now that the CTs have that buy round, this is the time where we need to see Nordavind perform.
It's high time to perform for them. I mean, they do have an AW and Holzerk, so if they can't do anything with that, then there's not much of a hope left for them to win at all. Holzerk, though, there's the entry. Speaking of the god himself, they get themselves 1 entry. That's a good start, though. Yampi dead means SJ have 1 man less they usually have an entry with, or at least that usually secures that 1 entry. His op skills are legendary, and you can't deny the fact that he is a crucial member on the side of SJ. Although, wait a second, Holzerk, he's already down secret. He misses his first shot, he's gonna take the second though, and these angles are so hard to beat for SJ, and they fight tooth and nail. They will lose 2 players, and that's just crazy. Holzerk, oh my god, Holzerk, that's an ace. Let's go for the ace, please, buddy. This is a gun round ace I haven't seen in a long time. I might have jinxed it, actually. Zarty gonna take him down, but holy hell, Holzerk. I can only say that's why you buy an op, and that's why you can change it all with a blink of an eye if you're a great opper.
Yeah, and what a beautiful play from him to bag 4 kills. He didn't lose any HP either until that final interaction with Zarty, and that was so clean from him to make sure they get that job done. And at this point, as we do now see that T side down into a 1 versus 4, it's not going to account for anything. That'll be Nordavind bagging themselves the first gun round at 12-7. And this is where they can start to come back now. They have SJ by the grips. If they can take this next round, if they can make sure they don't come out with anything successful from this one, that is going to be the economy destroyed of that T side. That is where Nordavind can find their way back into this game. I think consecutive rounds is the only real way for them to be able to come back in this sort of position, or else it is going to be SJ that will be able to whittle them down and get them to the point of submission. So with that CT side going to play more of a default setup, 2 toward outside, which is a pretty standard sort of way of doing things. It is just going to at least leave Rubino to hold from that very strong hut position as well, but 3 players getting ready to come through hut. Arvid, Kern, and Sadix going for that flashbang, and nice little blind on Rubino as they're already out on that site. That is Sadix and Arvid to find 2 kills already. Holzerk returns with 2 of his own though, and as he's down to 38. Molotov to force him back at least. Oh, Croman. He'll bag a flank down. Zarty to deny. And into a 2 versus 2 that is definitely Nordavind. They can retake it. Oh, another flank. Oh, Zarty surely doesn't know about this, but does. Okay.
That was a close call. Densky, though, left in a 1-on-2, and this is where it will turn to SJ, most likely, at least by the looks of it. And it's going to be Sadix, a 1-on-1. Densky, nice attempt with a kill on Zarty, but it's not enough. Sadix has the upper hand, and he will take the round to SJ. 13-7, and it's a breaking point for Nordavind. They're gonna rebuy 100% here. They have to. There's the up drop to Holzer. There's the M4s, the everything, and the MP9. No kit, no utility, at least not effective one. Actually 2 smokes, that's about it. And this is a do or die buy from Nordavind. Losing this most likely puts us onto 14-15, and then it's pretty much the map over behind it. Nordavind, a difficult position to be in. Again, Holzerk is the man of the hour. He's got the up. He's the one that can secure a victory for them with a whiff of a hand, really. I mean, just 5 clicks and you might have yourself the round already. And it sounds easy, but it's a lot harder than it might be. Yampi, very aggressive towards outside, but he's got a deagle. He doesn't worry about it. Now the op has been sounded off, and now they know, okay, Nordavind, they forced up. They've got an op. They know the time, and they know where they are currently, or more so at least in what kind of position they are currently.
And obviously with that information, it is going to force SJ into a little bit more of a different round setup than they might have liked. We'll see. Oh, Croman, however, bagging that first kill onto Yampi. That's from outside. That'll be a real mistake from him. Tensky at least to be tagged in return, but not that it really is anything form of a trade. He'll find one onto Zarty, and that now makes life incredibly difficult. The bait and switch, I don't even think they realize that, but still, they're able to draw the attention of Kern. And whilst 2 players are still low, this is a 5 versus 2 that Nordavind, they'll be closing out incredibly. 30 seconds on the clock, and with the final 2 men trying to escape through main. As Faction sat in that close position, it's 5 players kept alive. That's a beautiful round from Nordavind.
Yes, it is. It's going to be 13-8 as Nordavind are able to succeed in keeping all 5 players alive, as well as obviously keeping themselves alive in this series, or excuse me, in this map. I mean, 1 down still. If you closed it out 2-0, that's a good feeling as a team. You have to feel great success, and more so than anything else, you have to feel, you know, a lot of pressure that this is also a progression match. If they were to win it 3-0 out of the group stages, that would tell, you know, that would give them a boost going into the playoffs, depending that they might not even know who the main teams are yet, even being invited into the playoffs themselves. But it's going to be Nico first, Jay, and it should be 13-9 before long. So far, Nordavind, they've got at least one easy going round here for them. Although, SJ, they're going to be jumping out through outside. I like this. Silo is a good position to try and jump on towards main and just hit it fast and ludicrously crazy that can surprise your opponents, even the most veteran of all.
Yeah, and especially in the eco rounds, if they're bringing things like this in, just shows that they're definitely thinking about the longer game, or at least how they can have a chance to deny Nordavind in all opportunities. As Holzek does at least spot the first man, trying to maybe send a little bit of fake signals that it is going to be more of an outside play than most, and this time they're definitely drawing the round out a lot more. 45 seconds on the clock, and this is where they will now begin to make their way down towards Silo. Yampi missing the first jump up, which is a little unfortunate, but
ironic for his name.
I know, yeah. With 30 seconds left. Oh, Croman. Oh, now he spots them. He's like, guys, gonna need a little bit of help inside of main here, and as he even gets the grenade kill, okay. Excuse me, just choking on the Nordavind's round there. Yeah, exactly. Radifaction and Tensky finish and a 13-9 Nordavind. I'm glad they kept it clean as well, making sure that they didn't lose too many men.
The single loss is not that big of a deal. As long as you don't lose more than 2 or 3 people, you're good to go. But it's going to be SJ now, 13-9, full buy. We've got actually not that full of a buy, really. I'm kind of surprised Arvid doesn't have enough for an AK and a little bit of utility, and Zarti's on a UMP. This comes as a bit of a shock for me. I would have certainly preferred to see at least one more AK. This does diminish their chances a little bit. We got to keep in mind that Nordavind, even though they might be down in rounds, even though they might be, you know, not in exactly the best position on Nuke, this is a CT side they know how to play, or so at least this is, you know, this is still the CT side for them. And one can always argue CT side, even though it's difficult to play, if you have your basics down, if you know the basics of your defaults, if you know how to set yourself up early on and have a good anti-eco, or more so anti-eco strategy, and good, let's say, one default against gun rounds, you can work from that and you can build it up into something great. But look at this, SJ making their way down secret. It's a B split by the looks of it, and I kind of like this, although Tensky, he's wise to the fact there's a few players towards ramp itself, and the Molotov might be a few seconds too early, but 2 players down secret. Certainly this will give info to Nordavind now, they know, and Holzer, he's waiting. He's waiting patiently.
Yeah, and that Molotov, it's going to keep them at bay for a long time. Whilst they obviously don't want to push through the fire and flames with this gun round, it will at least give Holzek the chance to reposition. Spots the shoulder. Maybe we'll go through a shot through the smoke. Oh, he has a little gap in it as well. That is perfect. Even if he gets dinked, not that it particularly matters. He comes away with that initial frag and able to reposition again. The timing not going to suit him too well. But Tensky, oh, he drops the bomb as well in that corner. Luckily, can be retrieved back. Rubino to find one more onto Zati, and now into a 3 versus 2. Make it 2v1 on a swift trade by Radifaction, a 13-10. And we are really starting to see Nordavind grow into the CT side now. SJ, they will have no money at all for a buy round this time. Yampi, 7 opening kills. Very strong from him, considering he's an AWP player.
Absolutely. I mean, that is certainly a lot better than expected, and especially with the fact that he hasn't had the chance to really play the op on the T side as well as much, which would usually be the side that he gets the most entries on. Specifically the fact that, you know, this is Nuke, he likes to go in towards ramp or towards outside and then work his way through that. But right now it's another eco. SJ, they're going to have to concede at least down to a 2-round difference, and this is where things start to get very heated, very close, and absolutely hard to tell how it's all gonna turn. SJ, they've got another plan of an eco hit, and it's gonna be a ramp down rush. Perhaps B, perhaps A, not knowing yet. But oh, Tensky, the timing, he pulls out a flash just as he sees them. He smokes himself into ramp though, and this position is gonna be hard to break, especially with the crossfire coming out from his teammate. But Kern! Oh Lord, that's a Tech 9. That's a hat trick with a Tech 9. Yeah, is this all of Meister from 215 Fnatic style? What the hell? Wow, 13-10 looks like a potential 14-10 pretty soon, and above all else, Nordavind, they can't afford this loss. They lost so many players in the last few rounds. If they were to really lose this, then they might be forced to go on an eco and allow SJ actually map point.
That's the scary part. This is not the time to be giving up rounds like these. 25 seconds about to cross. We'll see SJ venture back down toward the B bomb site. And at this point, Redafaction, whilst he is quick on the rotate, Rubino and Co, or the final two men, will now realize that it is going to be that B site. Luckily, both players do at least have def kits that they can work with. The door to be closed out. Rubino
doesn't prevent the plant.
Oh, he'll find the first kill. Bomb does go down. Redafaction. Oh my god, Lord. He's able to do damage, but cannot confirm the kill. He's down to 4 points of health. That's so unfortunate. If he'd have found that frag, that was surely a huge chance at the round. The smoke to go down, though, at least to block off. Oh, such a vital angle. That now leaves the first man in a little bit of confusion. Has to push outside. And oh, what a retake by Nordavind. Very, very concise and controlled. 13-11. And luckily, they do not lose that round for the sake of their own sanity. That would have thrown them right off course. But luckily, SJ with that win, or at least the damage and the bomb plant, that's a plentiful purchase on that T side. And an all-round successful endeavor in that previous to get that many kills in the plant itself.
Very true. I gotta say, that's, I mean, you know, SJ, success indeed. But then again, Nordavind just showing excellence at teamwork as well as how they retake it all. That's just, you know, that's textbook 2v3 retake against no Kevlar opponent or non-Kevlar opponents. You just don't fear anybody. You can't fear them. You have to take them by the balls and just pull them down. The end of story. I know it sounds rough, it sounds bad, but it is the way it is. You have to surprise the enemies, or when they have no Kevlar. You can't allow them to hide and juke you. As long as they don't juke you, you're good. You're safe to be able to, you know, or more so, you're safe to be able to retake, or more so have a chance to retake. But 13-11 is still a result they're not going to be happy with, Nordavind, that is. And we do have a full buy on both sides. This is where it's going to be decided whether or not we'll see a tie, or will it be, you know, SJ taking it up to 14, potentially breaking Nordavind in the process. It's all in the clouds yet, or in the sky yet. And the decision, or more so I guess you could say, the elements that will tell us whether or not this might be SJ or Nordavind are yet to be thrown on the board, as there is a match pause currently in effect. I presume a technical, perhaps once more, or, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a tactical from either side, really, just discussing their capabilities, their possibilities, and, you know, what they might play. I certainly do miss Nordavind going a little bit aggressively at times, perhaps, you know, changing it up from time to time, trying to catch your opponent off guard. It just might be enough of a tipping scale for yourself that you get that 1 or 2 kills, pull back, and you're safe to play any sort of retake or potentially defense if you need to.
Yeah, and especially with the way that they can change up their CT side as well. They've shown it us already. They're not scared to adapt, or at least control the way that they play, and that's what really can throw SJ off in these next couple of rounds, because like you said, there is no clear winner at this point. With the fact that it's gone this close at a 13-11, it just makes it incredibly difficult to decide who is going to win this game, or at least have an idea. And yeah, at this point we will see Nordavind again, another pause to be called, unpause and then repause, so maybe something deeper, more like a tech pause at this point. But Yampy, again, the standout player who is constantly fragging on that SJ side. 26 kills in 25 rounds, which is a very sort of great performance from him. But still, as we go live into this one, this is now where it gets decided. Do we see SJ falling and allowing Nordavind to bring that tide to fruition. If they do so, I wouldn't be surprised if that CT side do make enough rounds to take this game right now. With the fact that SJ, they've already proven once that if they slow down to more of a, like we saw in that Vertigo map, they got 11 rounds, but that was all they got. They got a single round further after Nordavind. They were able to squander one, but it was a 16-12 when it finished. SJ, they're constantly, and in the past games that we've seen as well, getting stuck in positions like these where they're not able to close out the vital parts of the game. They can get rounds early, they can get ecos and whatever, but that's the one issue that I still see with this side from even 5-6 months ago, where they're just not able to close out the more important ends of the games. And that is, again, something that could definitely happen in this one. But obviously they do have a gun round in their favor. Holzerk, again, he's been stellar with this AWP so far. A first entry kill. Flashbang forces him back, but he still keeps himself alive. Yampy to return one. Back into a 4 versus 4, and with plenty of time left, SJ do have a lot of control. They can split toward that B bomb site or challenge A if they want to, if they get around the back.
I mean, this could go either ways for the moment. There is enough time on the side of for SJ to pull off either an A or B play. But as you said, Nordavind, I mean, specifically Holzerk on the side of Nordavind, has been an instrumental player to keep Nordavind in the lead. And Croman, now he realizes, oh wait, 2 mollies from Pop, this is something wrong. Yampy, though, is going to have to drop on Croman. That's the first refrag. It's going to be Reddit Faction keeping it open for a 3-on-3. He goes back and Hut, gets himself another kill. And that's pretty much an end to the push, although Yampy's going to be able to catch one. Holzerk has been noted, but it's Rubino coming from Hut, a double fake out. And 8 seconds, time is everything. And right now, SJ have nothing but nothing, basically, because time has run out, and it's going to be 13-12, another buy for SJ coming up. That is where things start to look very grim indeed. As you said, SJ being quiet, being unable to close out maps in the past. This is something we've seen so many times already. I had hoped they have overcome the issue they were in, or more so the issues they're in overall, coming to this kind of scenario. But this is just, oof, this is a big oof. I gotta say, a 4-on-3 and you don't even get a single or at least more than 1 or 2 kills afterwards. That's just concerning.
And that's the thing, if they can't allow this, or if they can't stop Nordavind from controlling the round, especially in a map where they look so strong to begin with, that's going to be a very difficult outcome for you in these next couple, especially now that they're going to be down. They can buy this. Yampy, Sadik, Zarvid, Zart, they all have money to be able to bring out AKs, but if they do, which they have done, it's not going to particularly be supported by anything in the form of that AWP in the hands of Yampy. He's 100, no, he's $50. No, yeah, wait. Why have I just like completely mind blanked about the price of an AWP? Not that it matters, he can't afford one, but yeah, even so, it's still going to be, when your main fragger, when your top fragger can't get on his most comfortable weapon, that shows that you're not going to be having too much of a good time. And SJ, they're still going to rebuy. It's actually a decent purchase with the economy they had, but even so, with the pace that Nordavind have now been exerting and showing to SJ, their lives are getting a whole lot more difficult in this map now, especially considering if they do drop this round. So it is down to SJ as they try for that main split. Rubino, he'll find the first kill. Arvid to trade back, spots out the second man in the corner as well. Croman, he has to be careful, and dead to rights it. Sadix to trade. Radifaction the same though. Radifaction bags one more. Holzerk. Okay, that was a very swift round through main there. 13-13, and that went really, really fast.
That was like, what, 15-20 second round overall?
Yeah.
Like, we had an immediate A rush. It was a trade after trade after trade, coming back into one-on-one. And it's the end, as Nordavind are able to pull off a victory there. It's SJ to go on to an econ. Oh, Kern! He goes for Galil. I'm not sure if that's a mistake, but it certainly should be. The money is saved up for a full buy next. And a force here could actually put everything at stake for SJ. They lose this round, and it's 14-13 for Nordavind, and that's when things become problematic. That's when things actually not just become problematic, but could potentially be very much the undoing of SJ, especially with Kern having no money to buy. It should never be a scenario like this coming this close to the map ending.
And with the fact that, again, SJ with so little in this round, it's going to be Tensky and Kroman that just hand them a real plate of uncertainty. Yes, they've managed to secure the rifle in the hands of Yampy, but not that it will make too much of a difference. Zati, as that plank goes down, at least able to bag some economy. Yampy trying to at least fake out the little bit of a door movement there, but in a 3 versus 2, that's probably not going to be the right port of call. Zati, though, able to surprise from down. Tensky trades Kroman the same. And oh dear, again, it's going to be Nordavind that keep the pace up so well. A 14-13 and going into a round where SJ can buy. It is do or die time for them now. If they lose this one, that should be it. They have to keep up the pace. They have to win this one, or else, yes, they'll have money for that final round. But even so, Nordavind, they've just been playing so strong on the CT side.
We can't deny that exactly. I mean, it's been amazing. They seem like they're absolutely in tune with their CT side. Exactly as I said, it doesn't matter if they haven't practiced this too much. As long as they have a good CT default, that's how it works. Holzerk outside push, the entry is his, and it's already Nordavind with the man 1 up, and Holzerk finds a second. He goes for the third, and he's too hungry there. He will be surprised and more so punished by Kearns, as he should be. That's one too many that he's trying to get at. He's already gotten 2 for free. Just get the hell out of there, Holzer. You've done your duty, you've done your job. 2 kills this early on, this easily, are enough, and you shouldn't be risking any more. But it's 4-on-3 still, and Nordavind, Radifactioner feels his position. This could be his undoing. He needs to be extremely careful. He's pretty much an anchor point for A alongside Rubino, and they can't afford to lose it. It will be an impossible retake to pull off. We've seen it in the past, but still. Nordavind, 4 AUGs. And no utility, actually. Kind of funny to see that. 2 mollies and a flash. Oh,
and Kroman, oh dear. As he takes down Zati, luckily Sadix, he's able to trade, and there is still enough time to actually make this round possible. Kern, the player's been read. Tensky, he's too wise for it. He's ensuring that there is no chance for them to break towards B if they even wanted to. And right now is Rubino holding from inside of main. Spots out the first man. Radifaction doesn't need to move a muscle. They know already as they break into that bomb site. What a hold from Nordavind, ensuring that Rubino closed out. Look at them. They're hyped up. They're ready for this.
Yeah, they are.
And oh my gosh, this could be the undoing of SJ right now. They've been stumped on 13 rounds for such an incredibly long time. And right now is that T side. They have one last purchase. They do have the AWP in the hands of Zashi this time. He's gone for it. Fair enough. I don't even care at this point. Get someone onto the AWP, please, for God's sake. And Nordavind, it's potential for them to take out the map, but Zati, he opens it well, and that was what they needed so far. A 5 versus 4. Yes, he's tagged, but not that it should matter. Tensky trades back in return, though. And that could just spell a little difficulty. AWP out of the round. I hope Yampy goes and picks that up. That is probably vital for him to recollect that sniper rifle, but even so, Holzerk, the man who's probably had the best game so far in this map, he's looking for more, and he's hungry for blood.
And he's going to get it. He's about to... he spots Yampy, and of course he's going to get it. Back to a 4-on-3 once more. We are in a position where SJ, they have to find 2 in a row alongside overtime. It is looking like it just might not be successful enough, or more so, well, at least chanceful enough that they get it. Kern, Sadix, and Arvid. And that's the only... Well, that's the only time they have as well. 50 seconds. And the Finns are running out of options. Kern's still outside. The bomb in lobby. And it's going to be Arvid joining it. It's an A-split. Has to be. Radifaction, Kroman. Towards main. Towards second vents. Radifaction, his off angle. He's not spotted immediately, and he will be checked here, but... he smokes it. Now he can pull out because of the Molotov and the smoke itself. Kroman wins the duel. They know their last 2 in lobby. It's Arvid and Sadix for both 1. That's good. That's good enough, but it's Tensky on heaven. He's on catwalk, and it's a 1-on-1 left as Arvid's dropped to 13, but Holzerk... Yeah, he goes in. There it is. 16-13. Nordavind closed the deal, closed the series.
Look at those rounds.
Dude, yeah. Look at the
9 rounds in a row.
Oh my God.
That's the thing. That's the one thing that SJ, they've struggled since their roster, like, weird word, but since the birthing of their roster, since they formed, even before the rebrand to SJ, back in the Super Yumu days, they still have this underlying issue of not being able to close out the vital ends of the game. Look, they win 3 rounds to start the half. They get the best possible start to close out this second map, and they're just not it. They get into a slump that they just never are redeemable out of, and that's like the one thing that keeps them aback from winning series like those.
And it's going to keep doing that, and also keep happening to them in that kind of fashion if they're unable to find some sort of a cure for it. And I would say, perhaps take a look at your mid rounds, at your mid setups. That's where things could, be improved on. That's where you could find yourself perhaps something better than you've pretty much been doing up to the entirety of the round. But in any case, what that does spell for us is that Nordavind take this series 2-0. They progress forward into the playoffs. Exactly so. And they are the first team to reach this tournament's playoffs. So congratulations to Nordavind. We had, I guess you shouldn't say low expectations, but certainly we didn't have the best of expectations for them going into the tournament. I mean, they started off pretty poor. That loss, or excuse me, not loss, but that victory against VP was gained, but it was gained at a high price, and it certainly looked that sometimes that VP might just be the better team. But in any case, they deserve it here. 2-0, that's a valiant result to work with, and I gotta say, I'm happy how it goes, and I'm happy to see Red Faction succeeding as well, so it's not a waste of his talent, at least.
Yeah, I've definitely got to agree with the way that, obviously leaving no chance to, obviously, I fully understand the decision for him to leave the team and go for a more stable position with salary and with the security, and then to be able to, like you said, bag that playoff place in a 3-0 fashion from a team that is, yes, challenged in the previous series of LootBet, but then to come through in a brand new tournament, come through with some pretty decent results as well, to then bag themselves a playoff place, the first team to do so. Yeah, it speaks numbers of how these guys are starting to really gel together now.
Indeed. Well, I guess we can say safely that congratulations to, of course, Nordavind, and of course, good luck in the playoffs. We'll see how it all turns. We'll see how it all goes. Until tomorrow, though, we will be, of course, saying our goodbyes. And, of course, if you enjoyed the cast, the series, or anything in between, make sure to follow us on Twitter, myself at Overseer, and, of course, Kieran at Vortex Kieran. And by the way, don't forget this tournament is sponsored by Loot.bet and of course the UCC Summer Smash as a whole. So make sure to check them out as well. In any case, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and until then, have a great night and goodbye, good day.
LootBet, made for live betting.
at you. So I'm crazy. Watch you bend that back for me. We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you, I know it, you know it, we make it. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you, I know it, you know it, we make it.
I remember the feel of the air touch my skin. Am I real? 'Cause I felt something leave from within. I feel empty. Have I got nothing left to give? Am I living? 'Cause I only felt alive with him. I'm driving in the night, the hood down. It's when I feel alive, when no one's around. The darkness deep inside comes to light now. But it's alright, it's alright. I can break no heart if I got none. I won't break apart if I stay on the run. But sometimes in the night I miss the sun. Why did darkness come? I felt my body break, my heart give up. Why did darkness come? I felt the lightning shake me into hell. Why did darkness come? I wanna stay in here where I belong. Why did darkness come? Something keeps waking me up. Why did darkness come? Why did darkness come? Am I real? felt my body break, my heart give up. Why did darkness come? I felt the lightning shake me into hell. Why did darkness come? I wanna stay in here where I belong. Why did darkness come? Something keeps waking me up. Nothing left to give. When we apart, the darkness.